Hi there, I'm Luann Fos, and I'm an instructional designer in the Center for Teaching and Learning at Cal Poly. I want to take just a moment here today to kind of give you a demo, a little test drive, as it were, of a software tool that I think is quite useful for faculty called Camtasia. It's created by TechSmith, and it is a screencasting tool. Now, what does that mean? Well, I think you'll see once I show you some examples. And I hope to show you some examples of things you never even thought to do with a screencasting tool. Anyway, it will be very useful for your teaching, especially if you're considering online and hybrid development of a course. So hang on and take a look at what it has. The first thing I want to show you is how to use Keynote, and you can talk over your slides while you're holding class online. For example, you could either have the video talking head showing somewhere in the corner, wherever you want to move it, or you could just have audio and avoid that. Sometimes it's effective to bring in the talking head, but usually it's just best to use audio. So here we have an example where I'm showing you a Keynote slide and I'm talking over it as you would with your students in the class. Go ahead and move through the slides. You can run videos that you have to be running in your Keynote. So here we've got a little video demonstration that we could talk over and explain what's going on in this as it's showing on the slide. We can move on through the slides if we wish to, and we have a link on the slide. We can actually just go there and click on it like we would normally when we're giving a Keynote presentation, and it will jump into Safari and open up that website so we can spend a little bit more time moving through that. So that's just great. You can do that, and then like you normally would, you would just go back in the Keynote and continue speaking about your slide. So you can see as we run through these, we can even run animations and continue to talk, in this case, about the properties of light and pigments and what that might mean for these students to learn about. All very useful way to use Keynote. And the thing that I really like about it is the audio editing is just so much easier than if you were to add narration to Keynote and make mistakes and need to fix it. So you might want to consider that. Previously, I made mention of screencasting, and this is an example here of what that is all about. You'll see a lot of people screencast to give a tutorial about how to use a certain type of software or something like that, where they need to be able to show people how to pull down certain menus, let them see what they're turning on and turning off as they're talking, just how to use that particular software. We use Screencast for all our Blackboard videos that explain to faculty how to use Blackboard. Back in those days, we used Captivate, but I actually am preferring Camtasia these days for many reasons we can talk about later. So you can see as I'm talking about something, I can actually go and select it, and you'll be able to see that. I can talk further about what I'm doing as I'm doing it and show people how certain types of tools work. And you can also even zoom in on a particular area. So you can use something called Smart Focus, which has to do with where your mouse is, and it will try to zoom to that position so that the user can see more clearly what's going on there. It's a really cool tool, and you may have seen that often in the Apple videos that the Apple Store uses because they have something that uses Smart Focus like that. The lynda.com videos were all done with Camtasia, so if you're a fan of those, this is the tool that Lynda used. What about a situation where you want to record a video on screen and then talk about it a bit while it's happening, or stop the video and discuss a section that has meaning? You can easily do that with Camtasia. You can also use Camtasia to take a DVD and pop it into your computer and grab the screen for a section of the movie, of course within copyright limits of the Teach Act, but you can do that and then you can just save it out and you don't even have to be talking over it. So that's another thing that Camtasia can do. So here's a little movie that I brought up from the National Geographic Channel on the web. So I'm in Safari. I've made the area to capture the screen the proper size around the movie. And now I can talk to my class before I show the movie about what I think its implications are for what we're studying and that sort of thing. Then I can start the movie and I can stop it at any point and talk about anything that I think is pertinent to what they're learning.
Their daily walk takes them through the woods to a nearby neighborhood that sits on a river. Here, the elephant normally takes a dip. On this one particular day at the river, a worn-out hound dog came out of the woods.
As we come along the river's edge, the hound dog and the orangutan are looking at each other. Off, the orangutan jumps, the hound dog runs up, and they jump into each other's arms.
Did you see that? Two species that we never would think would enjoy each other's company, and they're best friends. Let's look some more, shall we?
The orangutan and the hound dog are hugging and rolling around on the ground. They just seem like they're having the time of their life. They seem like the greatest long-lost friends. It was very unusual.
After Surya and the hound dog meet and play down by the river, Doc Antle and Moksha assume the dog will find his way back to his hunting pack. But Roscoe, that's what they eventually named him, wasn't having any of that.
You can also bring different sorts of media into the screen that you might want to show your class. So you can bring in various types of movie files, images, and so forth. Here's an example of a movie that I created with iMovie and I saved out as a M4V file. And then I'm bringing it in to Camtasia so I could use it in my class and play it for them. Of course, no presentation that I'm doing would be complete without bringing in an image of my Australian Shepherds, Coda and Emily. You can bring in any kind of image into Camtasia, and you can even add thought bubbles, any kind of text you wish, all sorts of arrows. You can colorize the images. You can change the colors of the arrows and the text and the fonts. There's just endless possibilities of what you can do. I highly suggest that you give this tool a try. The Mac version is $99, and I think the Windows version is the same price as well. It's far worth the money. This tool is just excellent. And I will continue in class to show you a little bit about captioning.